life is hard on people. Let me ask y'all something. Do y'all ever consider the poor? Do y'all ever think about the poor? How do you feel about the poor people? When you traveling up and down the highways and streets, when you see poor people, do your heart go out for them? Do you feel compassion? Or do you look at them as if they are nobodies, worthless people? Do you ever give to the poor? Do you ever do anything for somebody that are less fortunate? I'm not talking about when the holidays roll around, when people so-called getting in the in they feeling the season of giving. I'm out here on this highway all the time, 25 plus years. It breaks my heart to see people walking up and down the interstate when you know they don't have no place to go. I see some people just stranded on the highway. Man, I always had a heart for people giving. My wife kind of get on me for giving too much. You know, I always want to help people. And this is where we supposed to be. We always supposed to be in a position to want to help, even when we can't help. Sometimes I pass people up and down this highway, I be going too fast, and I just have to pass them by. Broke down people. We just want to stop and check on, people I see walking up the highway. I just want to stop and talk to them, have a conversation with them, And oftentimes, I do buy people. I do treat people. I take money out of my own pocket and give them folks. I don't beg nobody for nothing. I give to people. I don't boast about my giving or what I do for people. But out here on this highway, I have run, as long as I've been out here driving truck, I have always ran into people who was in need. I try not to judge people. Sometimes flesh can rev up and we judge people. But I try not to do that. Sometimes I feel like sometimes people might try to take advantage of me. And some have. I have ran into people who try to con me out of stuff. Con me out of, but I have ran into people that I know. And I approach them. They don't approach me, I approach them. And give them. I've been in truck stop in different places where young folk are pretty much stranded at the truck stop. They got cars, but they don't have no gas. I ran into one young lady up here in Knoxville some years ago. She was at the truck stop. She came to the truck stop and used the ATM to get some funds off her card or something, but something was going on with the card and she couldn't get it. She was going back and forth to the ATM, to the machine. The card was saying one thing, but it was showing one thing, but she couldn't get no funds, so she couldn't figure out what was going on. She was about to cry. She was at the gas pump, didn't have no gas, and I was standing back kind of looking, and she was like, man, She said, I came out work, I ain't got no gas. She wasn't talking to me, but she was talking to the clerk. I just so happened to kind of be in the store listening. And she was desperate. I mean, she wasn't desperate, but she was sad. She was like, how am I gonna get back home? She ain't have no gas. She drove up there on fumes, I guess. But the guy at the counter was kind of getting frustrated with her because she was kind of going back and forth, back and forth. Really couldn't blame her. So finally, I just said, man, give us some gas. We'll punch you on. Fill up. I pay. I think I filled the tank up. She was so shocked and surprised. And she was a little young white girl, white lady. And people want to talk about race. Don't matter this country. That's a lie. I travel. There's still some places in this country where racism have a stronghold. Knoxville, you still run into it in Knoxville area. It's not as strong as it used to be a few years ago, but it's still some places. And she was so shocked that I bought her some gas paper, and she was like, "Yo, you sure? You sure? You sure?" I said, "Man, yeah, you good? Don't you take the gas? Don't go back home." She almost broke down, started crying. She halfway didn't want to accept it because she thought I was gonna try to ask her for some or whatever. I said, "No, I don't." She used to do her demeanor was like she didn't know what was gonna come after that. I already knew what she would think. I don't want you. That's why I told, that's why I said, I just want to be a blessing to you. I ain't gonna try to come on to you or nothing. And she almost broke down crying. Thank you, thank you. People struggle. People are struggling in this life. People struggle. You got people who barely making it. And you got some people who ain't making it. And I see a lot of people who are so arrogant in life, who so don't care about nobody else. The way they talk down to people. They talk, but as believers, children of God, we should never look down and talk down to people. If we run across somebody we feel like they might be trying to con us in the street or something, don't talk about them. Just roll your window up and don't give them nothing. If you feel convicted not to give them nothing, and you feel like you shouldn't give them, don't give them nothing. But $2 or $3 ain't gonna hurt you. $2 or $3 ain't gonna hurt you. But I look for people to bless. I have done this all throughout my truck drive career. I have bought people gas on numerous occasions. I have bought people food on numerous occasions. It's a blessing. I ain't rich. I'm working like I work, but I give. I don't give my money to no greedy church leaders because I know they selfish. They want all the money. I do. I give. I give my money to people I know that need it and can use it. And I don't feel guilty behind doing it. It do me good. Make me feel good to be able to help somebody. I always have been that type of person. Even in the neighborhood, in the stores, I see little kids going to little neighborhood stores, barely got enough money, don't know how to count really, and they just put the stuff on. And I see what they go in a little neighborhood store when them farmers run them stores. They will make children put stuff back for 50 cents, 25 cents. They will make children put stuff back. When I go in the store and I see little kids and I'm trying to buy them something to eat, some snacks or something, if I had the money, I just pay for it. I pay for their stuff. That's the type of person I am. I don't pat myself on the back, but I thank God there's not enough kind people in the world. People don't care about nobody. And my heart goes out when I see people walking up and down the highway, the interstate, and they don't have no place to go. Nothing. Don't know where they going. They just walking. Husband and wife, couples. Man, I wish that I had a whole bunch of money. I wish I was a billionaire. I wish I could hit the lottery. I tell my wife all the time, if I hit the lottery, I'm going to give most of that money away. No, you can't help everybody. The homeless population in the United States is staggering. Homeless children, families living on the bridge, and over here in America, we pride ourselves on being number one, but we can't seem to get anything together to help the poor. Life can throw anybody a curveball. Life can get rough for anybody. Don't think just because you don't went to college, you got 2 or 3 degrees, you got enough in the bank account that might last. You don't got. A lot of people think like that, but life, if God move His hand, your life can go south in a minute. You can't have enough money where God can't reach you. You can't have enough education where God can't reach you. He has shown that over and over again. People are so selfish. People don't want to help nobody. They'll see poor people just look down on them and call them bum, call them this. We all are making it only because the grace of God. You're not too good. Well, life can't sideline you. Anything can happen to you in life. Your mind can go blink. You can lose your job, and there are a lot of people out here on the streets, homeless folks, that have lost their job, had careers. I know people who have degrees. If they don't take a mediocre job, a lot of them be outdoors. I heard stories. People got degrees, can't find jobs, been out of work for years, having to settle for jobs. Some jobs they try to get, they too overqualified. A lot of them can't even get a McDonald's. You know how that would drive a lot of people to commit suicide and stuff. Y'all see those stories. Y'all hear those stories. Rich people or well-educated people. Them are some of the miserable folks. Life. Life can get you. I wish I was somebody of importance. I wish I was a billionaire. Like I said, I told my wife, I wish I could hit the lottery and win close to $1 billion or something or whatever. I would give most of that money away to help the poor. Set up something for the poor. We claim to be Americans. We claim to love God, but we act so cold and cruel toward the poor people. Well, they made their own bed. They got to lay in it. Or they did this. They did this. They did that. They did the arrogance. I I even see it on YouTube. People go around picking on the poor people, messing with the poor folks. Why you out here? Politics, overbearing politics. These are the conservatives. They don't want to help nobody, but they claim to be Christians. When the Bible say help, Jesus said help the poor, look out for the poor. They claim to be Christian people, but when it comes to stuff like that in the Bible, they don't want to hear none of that. Jesus said, what you done to the least of them, you should have a heart full of love, compassion for people. I remember one time out there in Lubbock, Texas, I was at the truck stop. A brother came out, asked me to buy him and his wife and his little girl something to eat. So they were broke, and they drove out there to Lubbock. Something happened, some with their family or something. So they kind of ended up stranded. They didn't have nothing to eat. I wanted to tell them no. For some reason, I wanted to tell them no. But when I saw that little girl, I was like, man. I called my wife and I almost started crying. So I saw that little girl. Ooh, Lord Jesus. She don't know. She don't know. Some people just go through, I thank God that I'm able to provide for my family. Some people in their life had better opportunities than me. And I'm doing better than a lot of people in life. I done have some bumps. I done have some ups and downs. But somehow had my faith in God or whatever, he showed favor. I'm not really one of those prophetic type of people. I don't live that way, but you know, not to say poor people who outdoors don't know God, but I don't know. I don't know. But people are so cruel where they'll see poor children and still talk about them, still make fun of them. Don't have no compassion. It ought to hurt you to your heart to see children out there hungry, struggling with their parents. You know, I wish that we could get together and do better in the United States. Much money we give away to other countries. I'm not a political person too much, but I see all this money they keep coming up with to give away to other countries and to ship off to other countries. We don't hardly ever talk about doing anything for the poor. When we do something for the poor, it's like scraps. A lot of people out there living in those streets are veterans. A lot of people came from good backgrounds. You know, a lot of people something happened to people in life that caused them to be what they are. I just seen a man walking down the interstate here outside of Knoxville. Had bags, carrying a bag, and like some type of quilt draped around. Man, it's sad. It's sad.